Hello students, today in last lecture of chapter 4 reproductive health we are going to study our last two topics, sexually transmitted infections and infertility. First, let's start with sexually transmitted infections. In short, it is also known as STIs. Infections or diseases which are transmitted through sexual intercourse are collectively called sexually transmitted infections STI or venereal diseases VD or reproductive tract infections RTI. Some diseases are gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, chlamydiasis, genital warts, trichomoniasis, hepatitis B, and of course the most discussed infection in the recent years, it is HIV leading to AIDS, are some of the common STIs. Among this, HIV infection is most dangerous and is discussed in detail in chapter 8. Some of these infections like hepatitis B and HIV can also be transmitted by sharing of injection needles, surgical instruments, etc. with infected persons, transfusion of blood, or from an infected mother to the fetus too. So we can understand which way it is dangerous. Except for hepatitis B, genital herpes and HIV infections, other diseases are completely curable if detected early and treated properly. Early symptoms of most of these are minor and include itching, fluid discharge, slight pain, swellings in the genital region. Infected females may often be asymptomatic and hence may remain undetected for long. So we can understand there is no symptom in early stage, so it may remain undetected also. Absence or less significant symptoms in the early stages of infection and the social stigma attached to the STIs deter the infected persons from going for timely detection and proper treatment. So if it is not detected in early stage, it may be harmful also. This could lead to complications later, which include pelvic inflammatory diseases, PID in short, abortions, stillbirths, ectopic pregnancies, infertility, or even cancer of the reproductive tract. STIs are a major threat to a healthy society. Therefore, prevention or early detection and cure of these diseases are given prime consideration under the reproductive health care programs. Though all persons are vulnerable to these infections, their incidences are reported to be very high among persons in the age group of 15 to 24 years, the age group to which you also belong. There is no reason to panic because prevention is possible. One could be free of these infections by following the simple principles given here. First, avoid sex with unknown partners or multiple partners. Second, always try to use condoms during coitus. Third, in case of doubt, one should go to a qualified doctor for early detection and get complete treatment if diagnosed with infection. So we can say for sexually transmitted infections or diseases, cure is possible. Prevention is better than cure, as you know very well. which way it is prevented. So three type of principles are suggested here. And if once disease occur, so after knowing symptoms of this disease, one can go to medical practitioners, expert in early stage. If it is detected properly, it can be treated properly and cured. So prevention is taken for this disease is very important here. Now let's start our next topic, that is infertility. A discussion on reproductive health is incomplete without a mention of infertility. Infertility means absence of fertilization. A large number of couples all over the world, including India, are infertile. They are unable to produce children in spite of unprotected sexual cohabitation. So when in couple this condition is not possible, fertilization process is not possible, it is called infertility. Various reasons are there. It could be physical, congenital diseases, drugs, immunological or even psychological problems or reasons are there which cause infertility in couples. So not only physical reasons are there, some other factors are also responsible for infertility in couple. In India, often the female is blamed for the couple being childless, but more often than not, the problem lies in the male partner. So this is mentality of our society. It always blame on female regarding infertility issues, but reality is different. Specialized healthcare units, it means infertility clinics, could help in diagnosis and corrective treatment of some of these disorders and enable these couples to have children. However, where such corrections are not possible, the couples could be assisted to have children through certain special techniques commonly known as assisted reproductive technologies. In short, it is known as ART. Now let's study ART in detail. ART means assisted reproductive technologies which can induce fertility in couples. Various methods, mechanism, procedure are there. There are 4 methods. First, IVF, in vitro fertilization. Generally it is known as test tube baby program. Second, GIFT, gamete intrafallopian transfer. Third, ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. And fourth, AI, artificial insemination. So these all techniques, IVF, GIFT, ICSI and AI, they are under the program of assisted reproductive technologies. Now let's study in detail one by one. First, IVF, in vitro fertilization or test tube baby program. In vitro fertilization means fertilization outside the body in almost similar conditions as that in the body, followed by embryo transfer, ET, is one of such method. It means that the first of all fertilization process takes place outside body, laboratory condition, that's why it is known as in vitro fertilization. And after this, next stage is embryo transfer, that is ET. In this method, popularly known as test tube baby program, ova from the wife or donor female and sperms from the husband or donor male are collected and are induced to form zygote under simulated conditions in the laboratory. So we can understand, first of all, from the body of female, ova are collected, from the body of male, sperm are collected, and in laboratory condition, outside of the body, in vitro condition, zygote formation process take place. The zygote or early embryos, it means up to 8 blastomeres, could then be transferred into fallopian tube, that is ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer, and embryos with more than 8 blastomeres into the uterus, that is IUT, intrauterine transfer, to complete its further development. So now it is clear कि if zygote or early embryos up to 8 blastomere, it is transferred to fallopian tube, and more than 8 blastomere, it is transferred into the uterus of female body. Embryos formed by in vivo fertilization, fusion of gametes within the female, also could be used for such transfer to assist those females who cannot conceive. It is another mode or method of this type of activity. Second method, GIFT, means gamete intrafallopian transfer. Here, transfer of an ovum collected from a donor into the fallopian tube of another female who cannot produce one but can provide suitable environment for fertilization and further development is another method attempted. So first of all, transfer of an ovum collected from a donor into the fallopian tube of female take place in this type of mechanism. That's why it is known as gamete intrafallopian transfer. Third method, ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. In this method, in this procedure, to form an embryo in the laboratory in which a sperm is directly injected into the ovum. So we can understand it is different method than first and second method. Different type of method is this. Fourth method, AI, means artificial insemination. Infertility cases either due to inability of the male partner to inseminate the female or due to very low sperm counts in the ejaculates could be corrected by artificial insemination or AI technique. In this technique, the semen collected either from the husband or a healthy donor is artificially introduced to either into the vagina or into the uterus, IUI, intrauterine insemination of the female. So we can understand all four methods, they are actually type of ART, and it is very useful to cure infertility in couples. Though options are many, all these techniques require extremely high precision handling by specialized professionals and expensive instrumentation. Therefore, these facilities are presently available only in very few centers in the country. We can understand it is very costly too, so it is not possible for each and every couple which are infertile to follow these techniques. Obviously, their benefits is affordable to only a limited number of people. Emotional, religious and social factors are also deterrents in the adaptation of these methods. So, this method is very important to cure infertility to couple, as well as some points are there, some issues are there which they have to face also. Since the ultimate aim of all these procedures is to help children, in India we have so many orphan and destitute children who would probably not survive till maturity unless taken care of. Our laws permit legal adaptation and it is as yet one of the best methods for couples looking for parenthood. So, infertility is technique, couples go through this technique and they can conceive child, but over and above this technique also, okay, orphan children can be adopted legally by this type of couple. It is very important and it is very useful for our society also.